Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw this, it came up from Tech Dev here on Twitter at techdev_52, just with regards to what we're seeing right now in the market. Now, I know it's getting a little dicey now. I've got Bitcoin up here on the daily, and, if we take the top of the trend here from that last move down, we can see Bitcoin did hit the 702 and, kind of hovering right now around the 0.618. So I know a lot of people kind of questioning what is going on here. But Tech Dev here brings up a very good point with regards to what we are seeing on the chart, and he is comparing it to a similar trend that we saw back in July of 2017. So similar trend down here, basically July 2017, July 2021. Now we are obviously in August of 2021, and so this is the current chart, and this just demonstrating that same low that we saw on the 2017 chart from July 20th, I believe was the date, 2021, before we really started to see this move up. So we are over here right now nearing the end of August, but take a look, guys. Charts looking very similar, right? If we were to compare this to 2017, we'd be in and around this area here. We have the RSI flag coming up here. The down break, daily RSI downtrend is occurring here. And so what we are looking at, essentially, what I think a lot of people are wondering is if we're going to go up. And so sure enough, back in 2017, we did see a move up there. And if you look here, all these same indicators are checking out. So next trend up, at least according to this, is that we are going to move upward. Now, there are still a few more things we have to look at, of course. As I had mentioned, if you take the Fibonacci from this most recent downtrend, we are hitting the 0.702. If I move that Fibonacci, bring it from the most recent high, right, guys? We aren't even at the 702 yet. We're at the 0.618, right now retracing to the 0.5. So I still feel like we have to break 54,000 really with conviction in order to see that uptrend momentum. If I bring up the XRP chart here, right now trading at about $1.11. We have seen some uncertainty here for the altcoin market. And of course, bringing up a Fibonacci here, rebounded off the 0.5 right now, kind of hovering in the 0.382. So this is par for the course. We are seeing this on a lot of charts. If I bring up XLM, for example, you can see that same downward trend. IOTA is another example, that same downward trend. We've got Dash on here. We can see that same pullback there. So I'm just picking some random altcoins off the top of my head, but you guys can see altcoin market pulling back a little. We really do have to wait to see what Bitcoin does. I'm going to keep moving, guys, because I know a lot of you are likely in the same boat, wondering how to keep track of all these airdrops that are happening. And Crypto Eddie posted this. Hello, Panos Mech. So reaching out to Panos here on Twitter. Quick question. Can you recommend a place or person keeping track of all these airdrops coming to the XRP community? I just saw the XRP Greyhound and it officially made me feel I can't keep track of all of these. Thank you. So there have been a lot of airdrop announcements, and I know I'm even guilty of not being able to keep track of them all. But Panos responded here. So the only one I know is Gadget78 and FTSO_EU. They already shared. It's already difficult to keep track of every single airdrop. Personally, I'm just researching here on Twitter and sharing every airdrop I find in this post. So Panos Mech here, Panos on Twitter. Follow him if you guys aren't following him already. He's a great resource in the XRP community, and he says that he is actually just adding to this tweet thread here. So just going to his tweet thread, so many things going on in the XRPL ecosystem. Currently, XRP hodlers can earn these XRPL tokens. So he gives us timelines as well. Mid-2022 ELS, for mid to late 2022 EVRS or Evernode XRPL. Just linking the Twitter handle here as well. Right now you can collect Narian or NER. You can also collect XGD or XGold. You can also collect Gigcoin official. So also linking all the official Twitter handles here for those of you guys who want to follow these projects and perhaps sign up for some of these. As for XRPL trust lines, think of them as adding an ERC token on MetaMask with the contact address. You just add the token so you can receive and see it. 5 XRP are needed to be locked for each trust line, which you get back once you remove it. So just retweeting at Vin's tweet. Another one, you can only do this through some. So some are going to be only through some, haha, pun intended on the wordplay there. One of those is LOX or LOX coin. 100 followers means we release the Trustline Airdrop 1000 smart NFT for everyone. Link is on our Telegram page. So again, he's linking all these in this tweet thread. Greyhound is another one from what I understand. And Panos is pretty receptive here. Guys, I will link this tweet in the description. I'm sure a lot of you guys will get a lot out of this. With regards to some of these airdrops, I wanted to thank Crypto Eddie for initially asking the question, but also Panos here for providing us with all this great information. Guys, I'm going to keep moving. Michael at Val5Links here posted this. The Cuban government is reportedly looking into recognizing and regulating cryptocurrencies to be used for payments, specifically after El Salvador made history earlier this year by accepting Bitcoin as legal tender. The number of countries planning to mimic the move continues to grow. A recent report showed that Cuba's central bank wants to implement rules enabling the nation to utilize digital assets legally. So this is coming from the news outlet Crypto Potato. They reported in May this year that when Cuba's president Miguel Diaz-Canel, working with other authorities in the country, reviewed possible ways to adopt cryptocurrencies to overcome the financial turbulence that obviously was spurred on by the beer flu. Earlier on, Bloomberg cited the local official gazette informed that the nation is indeed planning to step into the digital asset space. The report indicated that Cuba's government, together with the central bank, wants to recognize and regulate cryptocurrencies for payments. And the central bank authority will implement the rules to determine how to license providers of such services that can operate within the island. Of course, we know Cuba is a big tourist nation. A lot of people from around the world go to Cuba to travel. And so, I mean, not right now. I mean, travel has still been kind of minimalized around the world, of course, because of what is going on. At least international travel has been. But I think this is important to note because, you know, being able to accept cryptocurrency as legal tender, of course, cryptocurrency, internationally traded amongst many different people around the world. And so why not in these tourist-driven countries, you know, why not accept cryptocurrency? It would make it a lot easier for tourism, especially if that is the main export your country provides. So thought that was interesting news. I'll link this article in the description if you want to read the rest of it. Gonna keep moving, guys. This from Real XRP Boy here on Twitter. Now, this is from ATC.Asia. And I didn't really know what ATC.Asia was at first. They are a member community. They weren't established too long ago, and they engage and align market participants in the corporate treasury and finance space in the Asia Pacific region specifically, and with a growing interest from the United States, United Kingdom, Europe, and the Middle East. So they are now growing as well with members from around the world. ATC is guided by a panel of corporate leaders with the aim to share a vision in pursuing innovation, best practices, and compliance. ATC collaborates with regulators, industry, and academia to nurture our next-gen business leaders in a technologically driven and fast-changing world. In 2019, ATC evolved ELIFT, or ELIFT, a dynamic platform for emerging leaders in finance and treasury. So they pride themselves on being engaged and aligned with market participants in corporate treasury and the finance space. Just to give you guys a little bit of background, and this document was directly from their website here, atc.asia. Talking specifically about Ripple, here is a comparison between Ripple and Swift's GPI. So just giving you guys the breakdown here. I know we all know what this comparison is, but now this organization, they're comparing these two things in this document here, you know, with regards to speed, seconds, compared to hours or days, fees, lowest possible for Ripple compared to GPI, disclosed, FX, best possible, GPI determined by the bank board rate, data, full delivery, GPI is full delivery as well, tracking not needed, GPI, yes, technology, Ripple and ILP, the GPI uses Swift plus messages, which again, outdated technology, number of banks, 45 right now on Ripple, GPI is using 80, but I believe Ripple will take up more of that market share. Difficulty, and the note here that they are both roughly equal. But down here, I thought it was interesting because in conclusion, in a rational world, I love how they phrase this, and I think Real XRP Boy here feels the same way. But back to this. In a rational world, because it is faster and cheaper and more difficult to implement, I would expect Ripple to grow faster than GPI. Logically, regulators would prefer Ripple because near instant transfers vastly reduce liquidity and credit risks. And then they go on to say, but we do not live in a rational world, and GPI has the benefit of incumbency. Being driven by Swift and based on existing correspondent banking arrangements, GPI may seem less frightening to banks. So this is kind of the sentiment that I feel like has been going on. Again, this document isn't terribly new, but I feel like it's important to bring to your attention. I feel like this sentiment has been changing slowly but surely, and eventually, once we get that clarity, I think that once the United States gives Ripple and XRP that stamp of approval, ultimately that is when we're going to see the clarity. That's when we're going to see Ripple partnership, I think, skyrocket, not only in the United States, but globally. A lot of countries around the world do still take, take cues from what the U.S. is doing, and so I think it is important for Ripple to get that clarity. Well, it's important for many reasons, this just being one of them. Yesterday, I just did a video talking about the 11,500 banks that will be onboarding this new identity product that can settle in XRP, guys. I'll link that video up here if you didn't catch it. So we have made leaps and bounds. The SEC lawsuit, though, still a pain in Ripple's side. This from James K. Filan. Just an update on that. The court has granted the motion for extension of time. The extension for filing pre-motion letters regarding summary judgment has been granted, but no due date has been set pending resolution of the motions to strike and dismiss. So this just coming out, guys. So essentially those deadlines are now set in stone. James K. Filan, continuing on with this tweet thread, there was no separate written order. The granting of motions for extension of time are often ruled on in this fashion. It's what's known as the docket order, only seen on the docket sheet. You can tell that because next to the docket order it says runner, which means that if you want to go see it in the court's file, you can literally run down to the courthouse and look at it. If there was a separate written order, it would say order or free, adjourned, signed, die. So just kind of giving us some information with regards to the technicals of these legal documents. And so just down here, a screen grab with that order published yesterday, order granted for that extension. So again, the parties may conduct depositions of defendants Garlinghouse and Larson after the close of the August 31st, 2021 fact discovery deadline. The deadline to conduct expert discovery is extended to November 12th. So those deadlines are now official. Just wanted to make sure you guys knew that. And just a couple of days ago, I didn't report on this because I hadn't heard it, but apparently SEC's Gary Gensler taps Wall Street critic Barbara Roper as his senior advisor. So here's kind of the latest development with regards to what's going on with the SEC, guys. Gensler appointed Barbara Roper long-term director of investor protection at the Consumer Federation of America. So she specializes in investor protection specifically to serve as a senior advisor focused on policy issues, broker deals oversight, investment advisor oversight, and examinations. Barb is a champion for investors and will provide invaluable counsel on behalf of the American public. This coming from Gary Gensler. He said that he has worked with Miss Roper on landmark Wall Street reform projects dating back to 2002, so on and so forth. A prolific writer of comment letters seeking to influence SEC policy. Actually, let me just skip over that. Gonna start back down here. She was at times harshly critical of Mr. Gensler's predecessor, Jay Clayton, a Wall Street deals lawyer whom she characterized as too close to the financial industry. After the 2020 election, Ms. Roper called for President Biden to nominate a candidate for the SEC chair who wouldn't shy away from adopting strong rules over opposition from industry and dissenting votes from the pair of Republicans on the SEC's 5-member panel. Now, on the surface, that doesn't sound too good, does it? However, if she does specialize in investor protection, I'm going to keep an open mind here. In the most recent administration, they've been willing to do really anti-investor deregulatory proposals on partisan votes. Ms. Roper, 65 years old, said in a December interview, "We need a chair who's going to be equally aggressive, equally willing to take 3-2 votes if that's necessary to advance important pro-investor priorities." So again, looking to protect the investor, that is at least supposed to be what the SEC is all about. We know that, considering how the SEC has behaved, initially the announcing of the lawsuit against Ripple and XRP from Mr. Jay Clayton, not a good thing. Gary Gensler doesn't sound too sympathetic to Ripple and XRP's case either. But now we have Barbara Roper here, pro-investor. It's mentioned here twice in this article now. And I bring this up for another reason. Actually, just let me get to this first. So Crypto Eddie here, just kind of pointing out now that Barbara Roper has been appointed to senior advisor to the chair with a focus on retail investor protection, be sure to copy her with all the uncovered SEC versus Ripple videos, letters, etc. you can find. And so her Twitter handle here is Barbara Roper 1. on Twitter. Something interesting that 604 XRP's just uncovered here on her Twitter page. Views are my own. So anything that she tweets out, she cannot be liable for if she does have to go into a deposition. You know, those are her views. I'm not taking responsibility for the organization I work for. And as we move through this, I thought it was important to show you guys this from Digital Asset Buy here on Twitter. Apparently, one of his viewers sent this to him. So this is a letter from his congressman, and the congressman's name's down here, Bill Huizenga. So it was regarding XRP sales. Thank you for contacting me with this question. I always appreciate hearing from my constituents and welcome this opportunity to respond. Well, I cannot speak on behalf of the bank you are using. To my knowledge, you cannot buy XRP, not because you are a broker, but because of the current lawsuit the SEC has with Ripple. Unfortunately, there is nothing I can do in this situation since the SEC is suing Ripple for unregistered securities. It is now up to the courts to decide the future of XRP and Ripple. To answer your second question, according to the SEC, Ethereum is not a security due to its decentralized nature. So this is the opinion now of Congress member Bill Huizenga. At least this is what he believes. Ethereum is not a security due to its decentralized nature. They say that while its pre-sale may have been a securities offering at the time, Ethereum is sufficiently decentralized that it qualifies as a commodity and thus is under the jurisdiction of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. So then he notes, I'm sure that a lot of this is reiterated from his knowledge for when he meets up with other Congress people. So saying Ethereum is not a security due to its decentralized nature, they say that while its pre-sale, again, separating the pre-sale from the current iteration of Ethereum, whether it's while its pre-sale may have been a securities offering at the time, Ether is sufficiently decentralized that it qualifies as a commodity and thus is under the jurisdiction of the CFTC. However, the SEC has failed to provide guidance on how or when something crosses that decentralization bar. It is unclear why Ripple cannot cross the decentralization line. That decision will be left up to the courts. So this is what Congressman Bill Huizenga has to say. At least this is what his opinion is in this private letter that was shared by Mr. Koski here. But how could that be? I mean, we've got Gary Gensler here having a chat with this gentleman about Ethereum. And I can't put a date on this video, but I would assume it would be around 2018 or 2019. This would be during Gary Gensler's MIT days. This brought to us by Jungle Inc. We are taught in kindergarten crypto class that as long as the nodes are decentralized, all is well. Contrary to popular opinion, Ethereum has not been given a pass, and everyone will have to follow the same rules as Gary Gensler rolls out the new regulatory framework for the US market. Listen to what he says about Ethereum here.
But by and large, the thousands of crypto tokens that have come since are highly centralized.
Okay, so just going to stop it there real quick because, and I don't have the context for this video, but it sounds as though he was talking about a decentralized coin, i.e. Bitcoin, and now discussing that the thousands of tokens that have come after Bitcoin are centralized.
Ethereum is centered around the Ethereum Foundation of Vitalik Buterin and a team of developers. There's 70 people that work at the Ethereum Foundation, not all of whom are developers.
Then he uses Ethereum as his example, saying, you know, there are tons of people that work at the Ethereum Foundation, not all of whom are developers, but there is a central organization run by Vitalik Buterin who essentially run Ethereum. So he's using this as an example in this conversation of a coin that is indeed centralized.
But by and large, the thousands of crypto tokens that have come since are highly centralized. Ethereum is centered around the Ethereum Foundation of Vitalik Buterin and a team of developers. There's 70 people that work at the Ethereum Foundation, not all of whom are developers.
I just thought I'd play it for you guys one more time. It was a short clip just to give you guys an unencumbered play of this video. So Gary Gensler in 2018, suggesting, yeah, Ethereum, centralized. But we've also got this idea that, it could have been centralized at some point and then decentralized later on. What is that decentralization bar? I think, Congressman Bill Huizenga really does hit the nail on the head here. The SEC has failed to provide guidance on how or when something crosses that decentralization bar. It is unclear why Ripple cannot cross the decentralized line, considering we know the Ripple and XRP story. I think that this just pokes more holes in the SEC's case. So if you guys find more videos like this, or letters, or anything that could sink the SEC's case, tweet out to Barbara Roper. I think Crypto Eddie here had a really great idea. When it comes to this, tag her. She is now the one at the SEC who is allegedly focused on retail investor protection. You think she'll do her job right? Time is yet to tell, but that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.